And this time I was caught in Switzerland. I was transiting on a flight from Brazil with cocaine in my stomach, going to Belgium. And I wasn't even caught in the destination I was just caught there in the middle. And the situation really hit me that I was really stuck because the drugs were inside my stomach. I couldn't deny them. I couldn't make myself innocent. And the second time being in prison was worse than the first time. The earliest memory I have of my parents is them constantly fighting. My dad, literally all he did was beat up my mum. He would use giant forks for barbecuing and poke her flesh. He would tie her with a belt. He would whip her. Imagine looking through the keyhole and then seeing your mum tied up and then your dad just beating her mercilessly. Even my mum herself, like when she was so angry, when she was traumatized, when she remembered something about my father, she would beat me too. I didn't understand. I hadn't done anything wrong to my parents, you know, but I think just existing was already an issue between their marriage. And the fact that I looked like him made her so angry. Me and my mum actually had to run away from my dad's, and we came to the UK as asylum seekers. I thought, okay, me and my mum will have a better relationship now. But when we reached here, she completely changed. She said things that your mum shouldn't have to say to her child. I would see when parents come to pick their children up from school and they hug their children, they kiss their children, they hold hands. But with me and my mum, you would think I'm not her child. I always wanted people to tell me how special I was. I was so insecure. I needed love. So I went to other places to look for this love. I took habits from those people. So the smoking, the drinking, even down to the fact that I lost my virginity at such a young age. I was pregnant at 14. And it just made the situation between me and my mum even worse because she realized that I was pregnant even before I did. And any hope that I ever had for her to love me just went out of the window. Eventually, I got into a relationship and got pregnant a second time. And I was only 16. Now, this time I made sure my mum didn't know. I booked appointments myself and I terminated that pregnancy. But what ended up happening is that I met the wrong people. I got into crowds that are just so dangerous, like people carrying guns, knives, and I started trafficking drugs. I ended up going to prison, and it wasn't even in this country. I went to prison in Cyprus. After being released, I was so sure that I was gonna just, change my life. Like now I was like, okay, I have a criminal record. I need to go to school. I need to make a peace with my mum. But as soon as I got back into England, back into my mum's house, the situation just repeated itself. She was still harsh with me. There was still so much conflict between us. So the only life that I knew was if I give her money, she'll be happy. Like we could have some sort of relationship. And imagine, it wasn't even up to 1 year, just 8 months later, then I was caught again. And this time I was caught in Switzerland. I was transiting on a flight from Brazil with cocaine in my stomach, going to Belgium. So as soon as I left the prison, the first thoughts I had were, okay, now I'm going to change my life. I was so optimistic, but literally as soon as my plane touched down in England, then this rush of emotions took over me. I started feeling sad. I started hearing negative voices in my head. And then all of a sudden, I started drinking more and worse to the point that my mum was just fed up. And then she gave me the ultimatum. Then one day she called me, she was like, look, you're going to come to church with me. This is your last chance, Prima. You're going to come to church with me or just forget our family. My heart sunk and I was like, okay, all right. Looks like I'm just going to go. I felt peace when I entered that place, which is unbelievable. Like the negative voices, they stopped. The more I was coming, I started to see things changing in my character. And it was so crazy because I didn't mind being around people. I didn't mind being vulnerable. I didn't mind opening up. And I loved how that made me feel. It made me feel strong. It made me feel in control. So I started hungering for the things of God. You know, I started going to church more. I understood what evangelism does, the reason why. So I was going there. I started reading my Bible, putting my faith into action. I started to gain these skills, like learning qualities about myself that I didn't even know that I had. I was pushing my boundaries. I was doing things that I wasn't doing before. And then now in my family, there was so much unity. People want to be around me. They're not understanding how it is that I've come out of prison. So that brought us closer together. And the difference is so crazy, you know, because now I'm headhunted, you know, me with a criminal record, like I can work in literally any sector I can think of, from finance to customer service to admin to anything. And it's crazy because I lacked so much confidence. I didn't believe in myself. But now, complete difference. And it comes from within. Once I started to believe in myself and saw myself how God sees me, I believe others saw me the same way. So I really love that.